Hey everyone, this is Jam from Casuals. This video is going to be about Art of Conquest, where I'm going to show you my top 10 things on how to do things more efficiently and help your gameplay greatly. So my first tip is going to be the most obvious one, but one of the most important one. If you click here, obviously you get into your quest log. Now, it is very important that every day you do all of these quests. You see here, all of these are repeatable, and as you do them, you see the star level here will increase and the reward will get better. On top of getting resources, you're getting also honor, which lets you craft items in this game. And as well as these quests, they usually point you towards a direction that will unlock more quests and give you some great reward. So in this case, one of the things that I should be doing is slay this boss here. So if you click here, it will actually take you where you're supposed to go. Now, you see on my map here, I have this point. It basically, this is a boss that I can kill, and by killing it, I'm gonna get a lot of experience, and as well, it's gonna let me access some special items. So you see, I'm at the boss now. If you look, you can see that there's a lot of goodies behind him when you kill him, as well as when you kill him, you'll see this basically gives me one item that is a purple item, which in this case is a pretty good item. A lot of the bosses in this map actually give set items as well, so it is very important that you clear them quite fast because you want to get these items as fast as possible because it really makes a big difference in the early game especially, and you can equip them on your champions because they are usually the sets that go with the champions you start with. Top of that, also never forget when you go around your map and you see all these exclamation points, it is important that you do them every day because they always reset, as I said, and give better and better reward. So make sure to pay attention and every day go around and do them. On top of doing all of this stuff that you can see here, and doing your activity, which is your daily quest, which reset every day, and you're packed with someone in your alliance or someone in your server, so obviously the sign-in. So it's very important that you keep active, that you do the important objectives. I said that in my previous video, but I think this is something that, at least if you're gonna log on once every day to do all of this, it will make your account grow very fast. Also, one important tip for quests: if you have bought the lifetime patron in the shop here, you can see this one here. Basically, this auto pillage and escort makes it so that your quests every day are easier to perform. You just have to go here in your skill book and you just do quest master here. You use it. There's a few settings here, and basically you can make a formation and you click start and it will go around the map and kill all the dungeons for you and send all of these mithril mines and gold mines to your base automatically. You don't have to do anything. You can just be hands-free and do absolutely nothing. It will play for you. So it's a time saver. It's not necessary, but it is one way to do it more efficiently. Now, my second tip is something very important that you must do every day starting from the day that you start this game. If you look at your map here, you see these green things, markets, and you see these ones here, witch shop. Now there's two here. There's one here which is a special item shop. There's another market up here, and there's another witch shop here. This is a blacksmith. So you see all of these like money sign, these markets that are kind of scattered around. There's quite a few witch shop and quite a few markets. These are very important to visit every day. You see, they basically let you trade resource for resource. Not all of these are worth, of course, but the ones that usually cost lumber or elixir or gold and give you rare material, as well as the one like this one just gives me rare material for gold, and this one gives me rare material for elixir. Now this one I don't really want elixir, so I don't really care about. This one I'm not gonna do. I don't care about the red crystal. I like the purple crystals a bit more. So it's important that you go around every day and you do this kind of stuff. As well as if you have the patron, you have this private apothecary here. You can just click on it and use the witch shop from basically everywhere. You see, I have access to all of these witch shop, which is basically 3 of them from the map. I don't have to go to them manually. And as you see, you buy everything. This is very important, especially as you go during the late game and you do a lot of PvP and fighting. These potions will be primordial for your progress, so start stacking them up from the beginning. They only cost a few of the rare resources each, and as of course if you don't have the VIP store, you can just go around the map and manually go to them and just manually walk here, just go and buy it manually. But you have to do this every day. They reset. It tells you right up here how many times they reset. It's very important that you do this because the value will be completely free and it will give you a lot more of the potions to experience more of the game. Now, my next tip is about the Void Mirror. When you have not started your Void Mirror yet, it is very important that you go in your alliance here, ask for your members, look at the top members with the most power like this one, click borrow here, and then click this, very important, and just say gold for void please, just a basic sentence. Basically you're asking all of your very powerful whales and strong players to give you some units for gold. It sends them a message, and then they can have a little button here like this, and they can accept and send you gold units. You can have up to 3 of them from other players join your army for the void. Now when you go inside of the void, you will have in your army these units to let you basically perform better. It's like having free gold unit without having the cap needed or anything. You'll look in your army here, and basically you'll have loaned unit. Now I don't have them on this specific case, which is not something that you should be ever doing. You really always should try and get gold units to go in the void. You can see here it's 0 out of 3. So when you do this, it will basically let you perform to a much higher degree and will let you advance quite faster, especially if you're a low rank player or low power rank player and you have a very strong will. Try and wait for them to be online and loaning you some gold units before you do the void, because it will let you progress much farther and perfect some levels that you couldn't be able to do otherwise, which, as you see already just from the first floor, look how much stuff I've gotten for absolutely free. I just walked through it, get all these materials, these speed ups. It's worth a lot. And on top of that, you'll get some adamantium, which brings me to my next tip. Something that's very important is buy all the champions you can as fast as possible from the void. Now if you go here and you look at your adamantium, you have a certain amount. Now you can go and talk to these guys, and you'll see if you just talk to them, they'll join you for a certain price. Now I can't afford this one yet because I bought another one yesterday, but as soon as you can afford them, buy as many of them as possible. There's 2 on the first floor. There's Rufio at the beginning of this floor, and then there's this one here. Then on the next floor there's Gan and costs 1,000, and then there's another one on the 3rd floor that's at the beginning, at the middle, and at the end. So there's really quite a few of them in the void, and there are some very strong champions, and you want to have as many champions as possible. Now the reason that I say that you have to have as many champions as possible is because of this page. You see, this is your total attributes for your entire roster of champions. All of them, all of the items that you equip on them give certain stat, and then if you click on it, it shows how much you get. So per 1 point lead on your enemy when you do PvP, you have 0.5% attack. So if you have quite a few more champions than them and you have quite a few points more than them, you'll have quite a few percentage more of all these statistics. Now this will make a difference because even if you don't deploy the champion inside of the combat fight, you will still get these bonuses. This still counts. It takes your total attributes as your statistics. So that is very important. Now my second reason is if you click on command right here, you see that it raises the bronze supply cap and then therefore silver and gold supply cap. So you want to have as many champions as possible because you want to have as much command as possible to raise your cap and be able to create more unit. If you look here, all my cap, see, I am way over the cap on every one of them because I have created a lot more unit by giving my champion a lot of this command stat, training unit, and then switching to another stat. So this is the way you do this. If you go in the champion right here and you have all these things, so basically this is something you can unlock with the VIP level. It lets you change different spec for your champion, and this lets you change different item sets. So all of my champion, when they're fighting mode, they have the item set 1, and when they are in command mode, if you want to say, or recruiting unit mode, they are in champion set 5. Now if you go on there and look, you see they're all equipped with items that basically give as much of the command stat as possible. This one, it's not optimal, they don't get bonuses, like this is not a good item for Ivril usually, but in order to get as much command as possible, I am trying to get all the command items on my champion. You see, if I go here, I have 281. Look, if I do this, I had 213. So if I go on this way, and on top of that, if you go on Avalon and change his ability to a different spec and get basically natural leader, which also gives some supply cap. Now look at my army cap from earlier. Now I can recruit more than what I had. Remember earlier I was on top, I was over it. Now I'm under it because I keep increasing my cap, I keep recruiting heroes, I keep equipping them with better command item. So this is how you can make a bigger army than what you're supposed to be having normally. And then once you've done, you see, look at these number. Now once you're done, you just go back. Don't forget to go back. You basically just change them back to the spec that they are meant to be in for fighting. You see my stats now are balanced again. Look at it now. Here we go. Now we're way over the cap for everything. So basically, it's super practical to do this. You want to have as many champions as possible. You want to have as many items with command as possible. It will just make you have a better and greater army and will make you generally just stronger. Now, my next tip is something that is going to apply differently for every player. if you go here and here, these are the skills. So obviously different players will have different skills because some of them are unlocked by having a certain title, some of them are unlocked by having a certain Valor level, which are the VIP level kind of thing. If you click here, basically it tells you, so you can see all of the bonuses here. Now you have these skills that just add up. Now, of course, most of the players will get a certain level of VIP or Valor after a certain while, and you get these abilities such as Conscript, which reduce the time of train through by 2 hours. So this is good when you're training a lot of gold units. You'll get Prompt Production, which basically gives you 4 hours worth of production. You'll get Adventure Experiment, which reduces the research by 30 minutes. And it's like once a day. You can also repair your wall. So don't forget to use your skill. If you have these skills such as Deploy Guard, now this happens when you are a governor of a city or you are a titled officer from the kingship here. If you look at this, so the first word, which is me, if you click on it, you have this skill added, and then everyone that you appoint underneath has this skill. So this skill basically, if you look at your city here, so this skill basically lets you summon these guys with the green letters here. They're basically guard towers. They're all over here because I've been summoning them. Basically just helps your city have more troops to defeat. If an enemy was to try and capture it, they would have to delete every single one of these cities, including the players. Now, the more of these you have, the better it is. As well as if you click on them and say collect, they basically will trade you this currency, which you get every day in those chests in your alliance, for one of the things that they get. So, of course, the rare resources are very good to get. I get a bit of gold because at the beginning I'm needing a little bit of it. And you can go in every single one of them and basically ask them for all these resources. As you see, it's a lot of resources for basically free. And the more of these guard towers you have, the better it is. Also, while we're talking about the cities, something very important here is you have to defend other players. If you look at this guy, he's on fire and he has no defenders. The way to know if someone is defended is if you click on their name, you will see if there's a little green thing here. Now you see not many people in my cities are defended. I'm actually not defending anyone right now. So when you are in here, go around and look at players who have a lot of resources. Like this guy, for example. He's a bit weak compared to me and he has a lot of resources. Click defend. You'll see there's an arrow that goes to him. Now he could be defending someone else, and then this someone else could be defending someone else, and you can create a line of defense so that everyone in your city has that little green thing which tells them there's someone defending this city. Now, the player that will arrive and attack you, they don't know who's defending who. They don't see this if they're not in your alliance. So they might not take the risk to attack low players because they'll think maybe one of the very strong players is defending, and they will not just take that chance because they could lose a lot if, for example, I was defending this guy, someone's attacking him thinking it's someone else defending. Well, no, it's me. I have a lot of gold troops. I'm much stronger than him. I will kill all of the attacker's unit and he will be very sad. So it is very important you always defend. This is probably one of the most important things if you want to get far in this game. Talk to your allies, set up a team, set up some strategies, and defend each other. So this brings me to my next tip. Basically, one, you want to farm honor in this game. So if you go here and you look here, this is the currency that is used to craft items, which is very important. It is a currency that you want to farm every day. You basically get it by fighting enemies like in PvP in the open field or by besieging cities. So when you're besieging a city, there's something that's very important to do because you cannot stop the fight or you cannot restart. So if you lose units or your heroes get injured, you will have to use potions or you will have to retrain units. It is costly, it is time consuming, it is not something you want to do. Of course, in this case, this is a neutral city, so attacking it is still dangerous, but it's not another player. Now, when you're attacking cities and you look at the amount of defenders they have, you know you're going to fight against something strong. So in this case, when I'm attacking, I require a power of 12,900 for me to be able to attack. So obviously, I have a formation here set up already, and it's basically just most of my heroes with some archers. And something that's very important is you need to have catapults. So for every wall that the enemy has, which is usually 3 different walls, you have to have one catapult in the corner here, one catapult in the corner here, and one in the middle. This is very important because once you kill the army in the open field, if you don't have catapults to hit the walls, they will have archers on it just shooting down your units and killing some of them, and you will have nothing to defend yourself against because catapults are somewhat needed in order to break the defenses and kill the archers on top of the wall. So you can also do like me. I have a special formation here, which is like a bronze siege. So you basically just send bronze unit. You can send your dragon as well. And you send some, like I have some archers here. And then all these bronze knights and these bronze little foot soldiers. And all my heroes scattered around. Now with this kind of fighting force, even if I lose units, it's all bronze stuff. And of course, my catapults here at the back, you want them to be as strong as possible. Of course, if you have silver, it would be the best. You just basically don't forget to at least send some catapults when you're sieging. This is really an important tip because you will get a lot of losses if not. Try and send some disposable units. Try and siege before you go to bed so that if your units get injured, it doesn't matter, they'll heal while you sleep. It's just something because honor is very important to farm in this game, and if you don't have some kind of good setup and you don't use catapults, you will lose way more than you're going to gain, and it's not worth it. Now, my next tip is about the store. In here, the shop, this resets every few hours. And this is very important that you go in every day and you buy everything that can be bought with gold. So in this case, there's some items and some other items here. And see this one, this is a very useful stat card. Obviously, you want as many of those as possible in the early game. And it was for like 16,000 gold. You see, I have 100,000. It's really not costly. I also had this 30-minute speed up for gold. You basically want to check this store every day and buy everything that is with gold almost. The only exceptions are like some of these materials. I don't need this crystal right now, and if it was like elixir or wood, I wouldn't really need it as well. So it's up to you in that like point if that's something you want to buy or not. But I just want to remind everyone that you really have to go in that store every day and buy everything that can be bought with gold. It is very, very good value. Now, my last tips are going to be about the dragon and the dragon abyss. So here is your dragon building, unlocks when you are castle level 10. It is very important that, first of all, you go see this abyss stage. If you click explore, this is basically how you generate these two resources. If you see, if I go around and I do this, see how many of these little rewards I'm getting every day, and I'm getting more of this. So you can see that this gives me a lot of currency per hour. This is how you get spells for your dragons, and as well as all these rewards. And as you can see, these are very good rewards. This is something very needed. It's all the resources, all the potions, and they accumulate for at most 8 hours. So after 8 hours, this will stop accumulating. Like you just saw me clicking through all of them like this. So you have to come here 3 times a day, every 8 hours, and collect as much as you can from everything. This is how you're going to make your dragon stronger. And as well, you can do stages. Now you can see I'm blocked. I can't go higher until my stronghold that's next level. So you want to reach that point. You want to reach the highest possible point as possible, because this is going to give you an insane amount of value for your dragon, and it is one of the biggest part of the game. As you can see, my dragon is getting quite strong. I'm getting more abilities, and I need a lot of this currency for me to be able to upgrade him further. So this is something you have to do early on. Push the abyss. It takes a while to do the first like maybe 30-40 levels, but if you have one really strong hero that you've unlocked, you will really get through it very easily. So as well, with dragons, something that is very, very important is their abilities. Now, of course, this guy has one yellow ability, and most of the stuff here is like combat stuff. So I want to highlight, if you go in your lair, you can have more than one dragon. You can have up to 9 actually. Now, see, this dragon that I have here, if I look at his abilities, he has 2 yellow abilities. Now, if I click on the yellow abilities, you see, if I get this to level 12, I get 5% construction speed. Now, if I get this to level 24, I get 5% research speed. On top of that, if you look at my current dragon, I have this one, which is 5% research speed as well. So this is a total of 10% research speed and 5% building speed. Of course, as you go later at higher level, you'll get extra stuff. But at the beginning of the game, if you get a second dragon to level 24 or 12, and you unlock at least 2 or 3 of these abilities, you can get lucky and have a dragon that has all 3 on one. You want to have it as a secondary dragon. For example, if I go here and I do train, it will show you can have quite a few dragons. So this is my combat dragon, and this would be basically my building and training dragon. Now, before I was to start a high level research, you want to have a dragon that has the 10% research bonus. And before you want to start a construction speed, you want to have a dragon that has a 5% building bonus. Like in my case, my other dragon has it. If I look here, abilities. So this dragon has the 5% building construction, and he has a 5% research here. Now, if he had the other yellow, it would be better. But of course, at the beginning, you get what you get, the luck of the draw. But keep opening dragons, keep trying to find one. When you have one that has all 3 yellow abilities, or at least 1 or 2, try and conserve it and get it to the level needed to unlock this. Now, in this case, whenever I build something, I would basically just activate this dragon by deploying it, and he would become my dragon. Now I would go in my city, I would build something, then I would go back in here, I would go in my lair, and I would deploy my dragon again. So it's a small percentage, but it really will add up with time. So just keep that in mind. This exists in the dragon scene as well as in the cities. So every city has a specialty. Now mine here, as you can see, has these blocks, 10% faster building. Now the governor has it as well. So if you're gonna build something, I would like to deploy my dragon and be on one of these tiles. Now I have 15% building, I get a big bonus for free. There's also research speed and army cap. So when you're training, you can go in a city that has an army cap spot, land on it. When you're also researching, you can go in a city that has the research bit, and you can land on it. So for example, this is the icon for the army cap. So when you're training, you would move to a city like this, land on this, train your unit, then you can move back to your own city. Just keep in mind that once you move away, it will become unavailable for a while. It's about 8 hours, so you don't want to move all the time. But when you're queuing up these big research and these big buildings, or making a very big army at once, this is the stuff that will basically be optimizing and make it have more value. So just things to keep in mind. Not everybody knows this at the beginning. Just know that this exists, and once you can actually achieve it and have the dragons in the cities, just make sure to use them because it's completely free and just takes a few minutes of your time. And the value, if you're going to play this game for many hundreds of days, which is how this game is meant to be played, you will get a lot of value and it will be very worth it for you. So this is it, guys, for my top 10 tips. Of course, some of these are pretty basic, but some of those are more complex and not everybody knows this. So make sure to share these kind of tips with the players in your alliance, in your kingdom, because it can really help make the difference between winning and losing the wars and make your growth much better, especially if you're a low spender or free to play. These are the kind of things that will really make you set apart when you've been playing this game for a long time. As always, if you have any questions, suggestions, or comments, feel free to hit me up in the comments or come on our Discord, which is in the description, and you can ask us anything you want there. I can help you with your champions and some builds, as well as there is an official Discord for this game made by the creators of the game, which is also in the the description of this video. Make sure to join it and go ask some questions there as well. There's a lot of very strong players there with a lot of knowledge for this game, so just go and hit them up there. They'll be happy to help you. This game is really great. It has so much content that will unlock as you progress. This is barely a little bit of the content right now. There's so much more in this game. It's incredible. It gets so complex but so fun. So just make sure to stay tuned and subscribe if you want to keep with these guides, because I'm going to keep coming up with more and more guides as I grow in this game and I level up this account. So if you want to join me on this adventure, just make sure to follow and hit the notification, as well as always ask any questions you would like, or you can hit me up even in game and join my server if you'd like. And I just would like to thank you for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.